Okay, so if you clicked on this video, you're probably like me and you get a rush from designing characters, and you probably have an old pile of OCs just sitting somewhere in the back of your mind. But I always run into the problem that every time I create something and make a story for them, I can never get attached to them. Like, even my own zonas, I'd forget about them in a week. But then I finally made an OC I genuinely got attached to. Meet Wilhelm. He's my Genshin OC and far from my first. But he is the first one I've ever felt actually connected to, and I'm gonna show you what I learned to do differently. Number 1, find a character concept you fall in love with, or rather, let it find you. What I mean by this is that there's a writing tip somewhere that if the concept comes to you maybe 3 or more times, that's when you know that you have a vision and a story you want to tell, and you should probably put more effort into it. And that's definitely true. I couldn't force myself to get attached to ideas. The ideas really attach themselves to me. But what I mean is, if this character is worth the time and effort you want to put into it, then don't be afraid to leave it for a while and just go back to it. Like, write it down somewhere, do a little doodle, but let it sit at the back of your brain for a while and develop on its own. Number 2, forget about realism and suspend your disbelief, at least for the concept. This goes especially for self-inserts and fan characters, because you have no idea how many of those I just made more boring and basic because I was thinking about the likelihood of having these powers, or if I would be like that in real life. I'm serious when I'm telling you, just forget about it. Just for a second, forget about trying to make it realistic or make it make sense. You can do that later. What's important right now is that you get the ideas you want on paper. Because when you're overthinking all of those tiny details, you'll lose sight of the bigger picture, and not everything always needs an explanation. Once you have a clear understanding of what you actually want to say with your character, or what's at their core, then you can change things up, remove a few details, work out the kinks. Because if you spend your first drafts and write-ups just worrying about all the tiny details and trying to make it look like a perfect final product, then you'll just get stuck there and you're gonna be stuck with a jumbled mess. Number 3, which might sound a bit similar to the last one, but trust me, it's different. It's create for yourself. A bit cliche, I know, but it took me a ridiculously long time to actually start doing this. As in, it wasn't even just worrying about my OCs being Mary Sue's. I was worried about them being like characters that are kind of controversial in fandom, which is ridiculous because who's actually gonna care? It's an OC. And when it comes to OCs, no one really cares about that stuff. Not enough to hate on them for sure. So for an example, let's look at Wilhelm. He's somewhat based on the tsundere anime trope, and I find that trope kind of endearing. I find it kind of funny sometimes, and of course I added my own spin to it, but there are a lot of people who find that trope annoying, and I was scared that what if people didn't like my OC because they find that trope annoying? If I had learned this sooner, I probably would have made so many more characters that I liked more. But instead, when I actually wrote a character I liked and made something that appeals to me, I would kind of look at them and think, oh, I know a character like that and everyone hates that character. I have to change it. Or there are so many OCs who look like this or act like that. I have to do something to make me different. When in reality, it's fine to make those types of characters. Unless you're a professional and what you're making has to actually appeal to an audience, the only person your OC absolutely has to be likable for is you, their creator. If other people like your character, then that's great. But if you're watching this video, I'm guessing what you're looking for isn't making an OC likable to others. You want to create an OC that you can continually create for. So, as cliche as it is, be cringe, be free. The only person you have to actually engage is yourself, and don't worry about making something a consumable product. And that's all I have for you. This isn't really an advice for good writing, it's more self-indulgent writing. And including this guy, I've probably just got 2 or 3 OCs that I actually like, but that's because they take time. And in the months since I created Wilhelm, I've actually done a lot with him. I've done a few redesigns, I've taken him to con, and he's inspired me to enter Artfight again, so I'm gonna plug my profile in here. But anyways, I've had a lot of time to reflect on what I did differently and how I improved. Although this is just what worked for me. I just really hope it helps other artists, because this is something I've struggled with for a long time and I didn't really find any videos on it. So here we go. With that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!